when I was in like middle school and like mostly middle school was like really, really bad for me, but like high school wasn't awesome either. But like in middle school, I wasn't aware of the fact that I had ADHD and like massive anxiety. Like I was diagnosed at 27. I'm 28, right?
Yeah.
So like it took a really long time for me to understand like, why can't I sit still? Why is it like every now and again, like my heart rate shoots up and I like kind of can't breathe? And I would like have these issues and I would have teachers telling me like, you need to shut up. You need to stop talking. You are way too loud. You won't stop
Yeah.
moving. You're like I'm tapping my feet right now, you know? And if
Yeah.
I wasn't doing this, I don't think I'd be able to have a conversation. But like back then, the teachers would be like, if you keep tapping your foot, I'm going to send you out of the classroom, you know? And I remember my first anxiety attack was in middle school and I had to be like carted out of the school and I didn't know what it was. My mom thought it was like an asthma attack. And I was like, Mom, I know I'm out of shape, but I was sitting still. Like, what do you want me to do? I was sitting still. Like, I don't think this was it. But my heart rate was like 190 as a middle schooler.
Yeah.
And like the way that this all comes back together is like, I spent a lot of years having people tell me to shut up and like not wanting to hear my voice and saying like, whenever I talked, it was annoying or whatever. And the idea that now as a 28-year-old, I have people who not only enjoy what I say, but want me to say more is like the fact that you're inviting me onto a podcast, like to get me to talk is like such a beautiful round circle. And that's the thing that I love about like talking to the kids is that like, there's probably a kid or two, like even I was like, dude, you need to shut up. But I was like, no, you don't. You just need to like say certain things and then hold off on certain things. But like promoting that idea that like your voice should be heard, your voice is worth being heard, because that was some shit that I like really needed to hear back then. And I never got any of it. So if I ever see kids who want to like say hi to me, I will never say no.
Yeah. And you know, it's so funny because I kid you not, of the people who I have on my podcast who are usually teacher creators or people who are involved in education and also have some sort of online platform, I would say a solid 90% of them. And people probably think I'm like looking for people who have been diagnosed with ADHD, myself included. I got diagnosed like 2 years ago. But like, I kid you not, I think that maybe 10% of the people who I've had on don't have ADHD.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, yeah, so I was just diagnosed with ADHD recently. And I think it's because we did spend so much time trying to like shut up and make ourselves smaller and all of that. And then we found a way for us to share ourselves and be creative and do all of that online. Yeah. And it's like, oh, hey, like, turns out there's a whole market for this and I really enjoy it. Like,
and I love it. And it's like, so there, I had like sort of two sides to it. Like the ADHD is like kind of its own thing where it's just like a focus. It's like, you know, staying on the same like path when I'm talking, which like even now you've watched it happen. I don't stay on the same thing, but it all sort of comes together. But the side of it that really got to me like on a daily basis was the anxiety. Like I got diagnosed in one fall swoop. I talked to a psychiatrist for like 10 minutes and she's like, yeah, we got one for you. I got diagnosed mass anxiety and insomnia and they would work cyclically. So I would not sleep the whole night and then the not sleeping would feed the anxiety. And then I would like wake up during the day. My heart rate would be on 10. Like this time, actually this week last year, I had to get a surgery to get and it's still in my chest. I have a loop recorder put in my chest because a little over a year ago, it was like October of the year before or October of last year, I was visiting my friend out in Vegas and I was like, it was like the morning I was working out and I had a problem with my heart rate like a little bit and I knew that I had like some problem with like mental health and anxiety, but it had never really come to a head like this. I was like working out and I like did a run and it wasn't like a run where it was like, oh, your heart. No, it was like a mellow run so that I can say that I worked out and people will leave me alone. But I had finished my workout and I was just like chilling, like having a drink of water, like not doing anything. My heart rate went up to 218 for 10 minutes sitting perfectly still.
Jeez.
I have a picture of my my Apple Watch and it was like red, like red, like holy shit, go to the hospital. You're gonna
die.
Yeah. And like, so basically after that, and I realized that like my anxiety had been pretty bad before that. actually, no, I'm wrong. This all happened like right before the start of the school year. And that's where like the wheels start turning as a teacher, where you're like, you got to start getting stuff together or you're going to be
Yeah.
screwed. So I think that was like an every morning feeling for me. And yeah, my heart rate was like 218 for 10 minutes sitting perfectly still. And that to someone who's like in like a very, very like minimally different part of their life is cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
100% you're on the floor, cardiac arrest, like heart failure. That's what happens when your heart fails. Like your heart's working when it doesn't need to. And it's like, all right, well, this sucks. So
yeah, exactly.
So this time last year, I had to get a surgery to get a loop recorder put in my chest because we needed to find out if it was either an anxiety thing and like just a stress problem or full-blown atrial fibrillation, which as the years go on is like 90% like you're going to be prone to heart attacks.
Yeah.
And for that to happen at 27 is
crazy.
Not a good situation. So when I first got that in, fun fact, I did the surgery like before school and then went to school after, which was ridiculous.
Like on the same day?
On the same day.
Tyler.
I know. That can be a story for the next time I come on the podcast. That shit was stupid. But I was talking to the cardiologist and he was like, we need to find out why this is happening because you're on a road to having an incredibly unhealthy heart because it's being like it's being your heart's basically being like strangled by something. So let's find out what it is. So at a similar time, I had started therapy like probably like 6 or 7 months before all of this was happening. And I had never seen a psychiatrist. And I was talking to my therapist about it before this whole heart rate situation. And I was talking to a psychiatrist and she was like, I know why it's happening. I know exactly why it's happening. So she diagnosed me. I got put on Zoloft. I got put on hydroxyzine for sleep. And I have not had a single episode of a heart flutter since.
Thank you so much for watching. Want more of Those Who Can't Do in your life? Well, you can watch the full episode right now. Just click on that little box over there. You see it? Right down there? There it is. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Okay, bye.